for the oxa. Take out the tongue, limb by limb, we have got cut them down, send for the oxa. Take out the tongue.
Hey everyone, I'm here at bop.dj today in Bristol, and in front of me I've got the Denon Prime 4 Plus, and today I'm going to talk about some of the key features in 3.1 that I used in my routine, and also some of the new features in 3.2. So we'll talk about the Prime 4 Plus. The Prime 4 Plus has professional outputs, has 4-deck control, a touchscreen with touch effects, has new pads and new look. So some of the main features I used in my routine was the sampler, the touch effects, the main effects, and also the fader start, which is at the front. So first I will go over the sampler. If I go to my files and then I press in on one of those files, you can see it gives me the option to load it to one of 4 decks, or it gives me the option to load it to any of the 8 sample slots you can see here. So I'll load it to the yellow one, and then if I go to my settings and then go to mixer, it gives me the option to load it to one of the 4 channels, or it gives me the option to load it to main. Now, the benefits of using main versus one of the channels is you have greater versatility with, say, your effects, your EQing, or even if you want to use a fader. For example, if you have it on a channel, you could use main effects, you can use touch effects, or you can use sweep effects. So here's an example of how I used it. I went on to touch effects. Oops. And then I selected the channel I have the sampler coming out of, and then I used a filter reverb, and I started with a high filtered out reverb. And slowly brought it in. But when you use touch effects, it allows you to have the option to have latch as well, so it doesn't mean you have to keep your finger on the screen. So if I press latch and then did this again, and it still continues on. So next I'll cover fader start. This was a personal favourite of the unit. If I press deck 2 and then I, at the front, change fader start right, so it's this side, and then I have the fader assigned to the right hand side on the channel. When I tap the crossfader, it opens up. So this is handy for kind of getting tracks started when you need to on the fly. You can have multiple of these as well. So if I have left and right, so channel 1, channel 2, and then I have them both onto the right hand side, they will start at the same time. Possibly doesn't sound too great, but if I, for example, went onto deck 4, which is a pad sample, and then did this, so that was handy for getting the routine started. For example, with dropping the jungle break at the same time as having the cutty rank sample going. Okay, going back to the touch effects, if I go into touch effects and then press effects select, you'll see since 3.2 it has now become a grid instead of a list. This is going to make it easier for you to switch effects on the fly, or if you need some of those quick change ups, you can do so easier. So let's go over some of the features in Engine 3.2. First is day mode. So if I go to my settings and I go to layout, when I press theme, you'll see day mode is active. Now this has inverted the colours, and this is really useful, for example, if you are playing out in the sun. Most equipment is adapting this, so it's good to see that Denon has added this. So one of the other noticeable changes in 3.2 against 3.1 is there is a new effect called Flex Gate, which has replaced Auto Gate. Sounds a lot better. I'll get a pad sample going and turn the effect on. I can change the parameters and the style of the effect using the knob or the button. And also can use the buttons to change the value, or the beat value. You can have faster or longer. This could be useful for build-ups, especially if you use the touch effects with this. So I'll route that to the side I want. So a new feature in 3.2 is fuzzy key. So if I go to my menu, user profile, and I go to playback and go to key sync mode, I can change this from strict to fuzzy. So what fuzzy key allows you to do is mix into the closest relative key instead of to the exact key of the current playing track. This could be really handy, for example, as you have 4 decks, if you're using splice samples with existing music, or for example, if you are wanting to get creative in your DJ sets. So another thing to note is if you use, for example, a pen drive with record box playlists in there, you can import this to your Denon equipment. So if I just plug this pen drive in right now, this has record box data on it. When it loads, it gives you the option to import a collection from record box. So I'm just going to press yes. So if I go to playlist, you'll see the playlist that were on the record box data is there now on the Prime. However, it doesn't always get it right, so you might find yourself editing the beat grids. You can simply do this by loading a file, pressing holding the edit beat grid option, and then it allows you to do this on the fly. So that has been the Denon Prime 4 Plus, where I've covered some of the key features from Engine 3.1 and also 3.2. If you wish to test this unit out, you can visit your local bop.dj store in either Manchester, Leeds or Bristol. That has been myself, Statik. Catch you again soon.